Raditz towers over a fallen Goku, his power far beyond anything seen before on Earth. From the shadows, Piccolo emerges, proposing an alliance born of absolute necessity, not friendship. The two rivals charge together, a desperate gamble against the superior Saiyan invader's power. Raditz deflects their attacks with ease, laughing at the puny strength of his younger brother. In a moment of pure desperation, Goku grabs Raditz, pinning his arms in a lethal hold. Piccolo stands at a distance, 2 fingers to his forehead, gathering a terrifying amount of energy. The Makanko Sappo fires, a spiraling beam of death aimed directly at the 2 Saiyan brothers. The beam pierces through Raditz and Goku simultaneously, sealing the fate of the 2 siblings. Goku falls to the ground, his life force fading as he coughs up blood in agony. Instead of mourning his rival, Piccolo throws his head back and laughs at the bloody scene. Raditz gasps out a final warning. 2 stronger Saiyans will arrive in 1 single year. Piccolo feels a chill, not for Earth's sake, but for his own threatened quest for dominion. The Demon King approaches the unconscious Gohan, seeing only a tool for his future conquest. Piccolo lifts the child by his hair, flying away into the dark and desolate wastelands. Goku dies in the dirt, his body disappearing as Kami takes his soul to the afterlife. The training begins. Piccolo drops the terrified child into a canyon filled with hungry dinosaurs. Gohan cries for his father, but Piccolo only responds with cold words and harsher physical strikes. On King Kai's world, Goku trains with heavy weights, unaware of his son's brutal torture. King Kai gazes through his antenna, his face contorting in horror at the visions of Earth. Goku senses King Kai's distress and stops his training, demanding to know what is happening. King Kai reveals the grim truth. Piccolo is breaking Gohan's spirit to create a monster. Gohan huddles in a cave, his eyes hollow and devoid of the spark of a child. Piccolo blasts the cave entrance, forcing Gohan out into another night of survival and pain. Gohan learns to fight, but his movements are fueled by trauma and sheer frantic desperation. At Kami's lookout, the Z-Fighters gather, but Kami refuses to let them train with Piccolo. The humans are forced to train elsewhere, lacking the divine guidance they would have normally received. The rift between the Z-Fighters and Piccolo grows as they view him as a primary threat. Piccolo stares at the moon, contemplating the hidden power locked within the half-Saiyan child's blood. Months pass. Gohan's body is scarred, and he flinches at every sudden movement from the Namekian. King Kai pushes Goku to his limits, knowing the Earth is falling into double darkness. Piccolo beats Gohan relentlessly, trying to force the legendary Saiyan Rage Boost to surface on command. Gohan's power flickers, but it is a jagged, unstable energy that terrifies the boy himself. The Z-Fighters struggle at Korin's tower, feeling the immense gap between them and the coming storm. Bulma and Roshi collect the Dragon Balls, the sky turning black as the Eternal Dragon appears. The wish is made, and Goku is restored to life, his soul returning to his body. Piccolo senses Goku's revival and sneers, relishing the thought of killing his rival once again. The Saiyan pods streak across the atmosphere, 2 burning trails of fire descending upon the world. Nappa and Vegeta step out of their pods, the sheer pressure of their power crushing the Earth. The Saiyans fly toward the highest power levels, seeking the Namekian and the half-breed boy. Piccolo stands waiting in the wasteland, Gohan shivering behind a rock, hidden from the invaders. The Z-Fighters arrive, but they stand far apart from Piccolo, their alliance broken and fragile. The Saiyans land, their presence casting a long, dark shadow over the gathered defenders of Earth. Vegeta mocks the Namekian, sensing a power far lower than the rumors suggested. Piccolo attacks Nappa without warning, a desperate strike to prove his dominance as a demon. Nappa retaliates with a brutal backhand, sending Piccolo crashing through a mountain range. Vegeta plants the seeds, and the horrific Cybermen sprout from the ground like nightmare weeds. Yamcha steps forward, thinking he can handle the creatures, but his confidence is misplaced. The Cyberman latches onto Yamcha, detonating in a flash of green and white light. The Z fighters are horrified, but Piccolo only looks on with a cold, uncaring detachment. Piccolo grabs Gohan and throws him toward a screeching Cyberman, forcing him to fight. Terrified of Piccolo's wrath, Gohan unleashes a desperate Masenko, vaporizing the green monster instantly. Vegeta's interest is piqued by the child's raw power, but he remains unimpressed by the Namekian. Nappa begins his rampage, moving faster than the Z fighters can track with their eyes. Chaozu clings to Nappa's back, a final, desperate attempt to save his best friend. The explosion is massive, but as the smoke clears, Nappa stands completely unharmed and mocking. Tien fires his life force in a final tri-beam, but it only barely scratches the Saiyan's armor. Tien falls, his heart stopping from the strain, leaving Krillin and a cowering Gohan alone. Nappa tires of the games and charges a massive energy wave at the traumatized Gohan. Piccolo watches the blast approach Gohan, calculating the cost of saving the boy's life. In a moment that breaks history, Piccolo sidesteps, letting the blast fly toward the child. The Bomber DX connects, and Gohan is engulfed in a horrific, blinding explosion of light. The smoke clears to reveal nothing but scorched earth. Gohan has been completely vaporized. Piccolo sneers at the crater, calling the dead child a useless and weak disappointment. Krillin falls to his knees, his mind snapping at the sight of his best friend's son being murdered. Suddenly, the atmosphere changes, a heavy, suffocating pressure descending from the heavens above. Goku arrives, his face a mask of terrifying, unnatural silence as he surveys the carnage. Goku senses for his son's energy, but there is only a cold, empty void in the air. Piccolo mocks Goku, telling him his son died like a coward because he was soft. Goku's aura explodes into a violent red Kaioken, the ground beneath him turning into molten glass. Goku ignores Nappa entirely, walking straight toward Piccolo with death in his burning eyes. Vegeta is delighted by the drama, ordering Nappa to stay back and watch the slaughter. Goku stops, his voice a low, guttural growl as he tells Piccolo he is next. But the Saiyans are the priority. Goku turns back to Nappa with lethal, focused intent. Goku uses Kaioken times 3, his speed becoming a blur that Nappa's scouter cannot even track. With a point-blank Kamehameha, Goku obliterates Nappa, leaving nothing but dust and fading energy. Vegeta stands up, finally recognizing a true threat in the low-class warrior's transformation. The clash begins, two Saiyans fighting for the fate of a world that has already lost so much. Vegeta prepares his Gallic gun, a purple light that threatens to crack the planet's core. Goku pushes his body to Kaioken times 4, the strain tearing his muscles apart as he fires back. The beam struggle ends in a massive explosion, leaving Goku's body broken and unable to move. Vegeta, humiliated and desperate, creates a ball of artificial moonlight in the dark sky. The Saiyan Prince transforms into a monstrous great ape, his power multiplying tenfold in an instant. The great ape grabs the helpless Goku, beginning to crush the life out of him slowly. Piccolo sees his chance to eliminate both rivals and begins charging a special beam cannon. The beam fires, but Vegeta senses the attack at the last second and shifts his massive head. Vegeta's gaze falls upon the Namekian, his red eyes glowing with a murderous, beastly intelligence. A mouth blast erases Piccolo from existence, ending the Demon King's reign before it could begin. At the lookout, Kami sighs and disappears, the Dragon Balls turning into cold, lifeless stone. Yajirobe emerges from the shadows, his blade gleaming as he strikes at the giant's tail. Vegeta reverts to his base form, exhausted and bleeding from his severed tail and ear. There is no Great Ape Gohan to fall on him. The battle has become a grim stalemate of death. Krillin crawls toward Goku, his body broken, but his spirit refusing to give in to the Saiyan. Vegeta prepares to finish them both, his hand glowing with the last of his energy. Suddenly, a shadow falls over them. Not a rescue ship, but Kami's old Namekian vessel. Mr. Popo's magic carpet descends, grabbing Goku and Krillin as the ship prepares for takeoff. Vegeta fires his last blast, but the ship's ancient shielding holds just long enough to escape. The ship breaks orbit, leaving the Earth to fall under the absolute rule of the Saiyan Prince. Vegeta stands alone on the dead planet, declaring Earth a new colony for the Frieza Force. Inside the ship, Goku and Krillin stare at each other, their faces etched with grief and revenge. The story of Earth is over. The story of the last survivor's vengeance is just beginning.